Hi everyone, I hope you're okay, and I hope that the videos will keep uploading and helping you out. On this video guys, I'll be tackling the first question from the May-June 2024 Physical Sciences Paper 2 examination. Please do expect a total number of 9 videos since the question paper consists of 9 questions. And please guys, do take this seriously because I strongly believe that knowing how to tackle exam questions will give you an edge whenever you write your final exam. So please do share the video to your peers so that they may have the same edge as you. Okay, question 1 guys is just a multiple choice question. Question number 1, we are told that we are being asked that what is the functional group for aldehydes? Okay, we must just continue the statement. The functional group for an aldehyde is a formyl group. Carboxyl group belongs to a carboxylic acid. Carbonyl group belongs to ketones, and hydroxyl group belongs to alcohols. Okay, which one of the following equations represent the reaction for the identification of an unsaturated organic compound in a laboratory? Okay, for us guys to check whether our hydrocarbon specifically is saturated or not, we need to react it with bromine water. So these two options are already incorrect because we are not reacting with bromine water. Are you together? Okay, if we are taking a saturated hydrocarbon with bromine water, that would require external energy, and yes, there will be a substitution reaction. Are you together? We'll end up forming an alkane and a byproduct as well. So we will be forming rather the type of reaction that will take place there will be a substitution reaction. Are you together? If you take a saturated hydrocarbon, reacting it with bromine water, just like reaction D. This is a saturated hydrocarbon. If you can draw the structure of this thing, you can see that you have single bonds between adjacent carbons. Are you together? And hence you end up having substitution and a byproduct over there. Okay, then option C is the only correct answer. Why? Because in a laboratory, guys, whenever we take an unsaturated hydrocarbon and we are reacting it with bromine water, the first thing that you will see with your naked eye is that there will be a color change. Are you together? The reaction vessel will change into brown, and secondly, what will happen is that there will be an addition reaction. Are you together? So there were double bonds between these two carbons, but now they are no longer double bonds. We have two bromine ions bending to each one of those carbon, and hence we end up having an addition reaction. So reaction C is the only correct answer. Okay, which one of the following is the empirical formula for ethyl ethanoate? The molecular formula for ethyl ethanoate is C4H8O2. Are you together? Please note that, guys, the relationship between the molecular formula and empirical formula is that the subscripts of the empirical formula are half of the molecular formula. Are you together? So my empirical formula will simply be C2. 2 is the half of 4, H4, 4 is the half of 8, and O1. There's no need to write 1, but I know that 1 is the half of 2. So this is my empirical formula for ethyl ethanoate. So A is my correct option. In an experiment, 5 grams of calcium carbonate reacts with excess hydrochloric acid at a temperature of 40 degrees Celsius. Okay, we are given the reaction over there. The reactants are calcium carbonate, hydrochloric acid, which is in excess. They will both give us calcium chloride, water, and carbon dioxide gas. And then we are told that the volume of the carbon dioxide gas produced versus time is shown by curve P in the diagram below. So this curve over here shows the production of the hydrogen gas. The experiment is now repeated with 10 grams of the same calcium carbonate solid sample. They have increased the mass, are you together, By increasing the mass, guys, we are increasing the quantity of calcium carbonate. Remember that, guys, number of moles is directly proportional to the mass of the substance. If I increase the mass, I'm increasing the number of moles that will react with my excess hydrochloric acid. Are you together? And whenever I increase the number of moles of my calcium carbonate, which is my limiting reagent, by the way, if I'm increasing the number of moles of my calcium carbonate, that means the number of moles of my produced carbon dioxide will also increase. Are you together? So, and whenever I increase the number of moles of my carbon dioxide, I'm actually increasing the volume collected. Are we together in the reaction? Why? Because whenever I look at gases only, number of moles is equal to the volume of a gas divided by the molar volume. This simply means that the number of moles is directly proportional to the volume of the gas. Are you together? So by increasing the number of moles of my gas, that means there will be more volume of the gas being collected from the reaction vessel. So reaction curve 1 and curve 2 are already out of the way. Are you together? But I'll be left with curve 3 and 4. So curve 4 will be the correct answer because it reaches completion faster and it has the highest number of the volume of the gas. You can see that it's just above over there. So reaction 4 is the one that represents the repeated experiment with 10 grams of calcium carbonate solid. Okay, and then now we are told that the balanced equation below represent the reaction at equilibrium. Okay, we have our reactants. We have chromate ions and hydronium ion. On the other side, you have dichromate ions and water. Okay, and then we are told that which statement is true when few drops of concentrated hydrochloric acid are added to the mixture. Number 1, that concentrated hydrochloric acid will act as a catalyst, so it will speed up the reaction. So what will happen over here, guys, is that you'll see that the forward reaction will basically be favored. The forward reaction will be favored, and if the forward reaction is favored, it simply means that the concentration of my dichromate ions will increase, and secondly, the reaction will change from its yellow color to orange color. So over here we are told that the reverse reaction is favored. That's incorrect. And then the concentration of the dichromate ion increases. Yes, that's correct. The color solution changes from yellow to orange. That's correct. So the correct option is the one that include both number 1 and 3, number 2 and 3 rather. So D is my correct answer. Okay, now I'm told to consider the reaction below for a hypothetical reaction. Consider the equation below for a hypothetical reaction. Okay, and then you're told that the equilibrium constant for this reaction is 1 times 10 to the power negative 4. So Kc is equal to the product, the concentration of the products divided by the concentration of the reactants. And whenever, guys, we deal with Kc, we only include aqueous solutions and gases. Are you together? Solids and liquids are not included. So if ever, guys, our Kc is this number is just a number which is less than just between 0 and 1 is just a proper fraction, and this number is basic. Kc is equal to 0.0001. There are just 4 zeros before 1. That's why there's 10 to the power negative 4. Né? So if you're dividing two numbers, guys, and we get a proper fraction, this is a proper fraction, né, guys. Any number which is between 0 and 1 is a proper fraction. Are you together? For me to get a proper fraction, that simply means the denominator should be greater than my numerator. That means the concentration at the denominator should be greater than that of the numerator. So in this case, for us to get a Kc which is equal to this statement need to be true. So C is my correct answer. Okay, which one of the following shows the products for the reaction of oxalic acid with sodium hydroxide? D and C are already out of the way, because these are products of ethanoic acid and sodium hydroxide are together. But these two, yes, are the products of oxalic acid and sodium hydroxide. The problem is that none of my two substances, either sodium hydroxide or oxalic acid, are gases, or rather they are solids. So they wouldn't produce a gas. Are you together? So this is incorrect. The correct answer is B. And then now we are told that 4 solutions of different acids of the same concentration are compared. Which one of the following constant ionization value represents the weakest acid at 25 degrees? The one that has the lowest constant ionization is the one that represents the weakest acid. Are you together? So the one with the smallest number over here is the first one. Are you together? Why do I say it has a small number? Because it has a more negative exponent. So if your number, guys, has a more negative exponent, it simply means it's smaller. So A has the lowest constant ionization of water. Okay, and then now we are told that copper is purified by electrolysis. Which one of the following combination is correct for the changes during occurring at the anode? No, let me read properly. Copper is purified by electrolysis. Which one of the following combinations is correct for the changes occurring at the anode, cathode, and in the electrolyte when the cell is in operation? The first thing you need to know is that on your electrolyte there wouldn't be any change. Are you together? So since for option C and D the electrolyte changes, that means those two answers are incorrect. And secondly, I know that my electrons will always move from anode to cathode. This simply means that my anode will decrease in mass and my cathode will increase in mass. Are you together? So option B is the correct answer. Option B is the correct answer. Okay, and then now we are being asked which one of the following redox reaction is spontaneous under standard conditions? Which one of the reactions is spontaneous under standard conditions? B will be spontaneous. Are you together? Because already the anode and the cathode are both negative, both have charges, unlike A, C, and D. Are you together? These ones are in a stable state. Are you together? So the reaction wouldn't just be spontaneous, but over here the reaction would be spontaneous. Are you together? So electrons will be easily transferred if both substances are charged. So B would be my correct answer. So just stay tuned, guys, and wait for more videos, and please do help us grow the channel by just subscribing. Thank you very much.